What's going on YouTube? Alex back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the cryptocurrency news that's currently happening today on the spot, things that I think are most important. There's been a lot of news and FUD and different things that don't really have fundamental value. On this channel, we like to explore topics that actually affect your investments. And of course, none of this is financial advice. Let's move forward. Keep watching the video. All right, I'm gonna make these videos short, sweet, to the point, because I know you guys don't like your time to be wasted. But if you appreciate this content, do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell. I like to talk about cryptocurrency, entrepreneurship, and be highly motivational to push people to make money on the internet. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but one of the best things about this channel is that I keep it real deal, no spiel. I'm talking truth down to the core. I don't accept sponsorships. That's gonna distorts my perception of actually investing in cryptocurrencies that I put my money in. You know, I put my money where my mouth is, right? I don't accept sponsorships. It's gonna make things all weird and, you know, biased, and there's no reason to do that because we have a digital course. So let's move into the actual market. So as you can see here, big headline news: Microstrategy buys 205 more BTC in fourth ongoing treasury purchase. So this guy has basically been the mascot for Bitcoin for literally like the past year or so, and he's just nonstop. He's just consistent. This is his fourth big purchase, right? And what's happening is, and I've talked about this on my channel multiple times, but if you guys didn't know, like in 2016, 18, the last cycle, essentially that was a perfect representation of smaller size institutions getting into the market. Now, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy is considered a medium-sized institution, okay? And how it works is essentially, now that smaller size, you know, they came in last cycle, right? Medium-sized institutions are starting to jump in. Now, how cryptocurrency and markets work in general is, if you ever thought about like the big $1 trillion, you know, you could say businesses, or you could say there's a lot of $1 trillion companies on this earth. They can't get in until the medium size gets in because they have way too much money. If they jump into Bitcoin or any other, you know, cryptocurrency, essentially they're going to take all the liquidity, and they're subject to something called slippage. Slippage basically affects the price as they're buying. So it's actually perfect that medium-sized institutions are jumping in. We're going to see more medium-sized institutions. Some of them are private, some of them are public. I would say the vast majority of them are private. And I'll talk about some news sources that kind of confirms that. We'll talk about more. Let's move on to the next piece of news. Now, this is really important. You guys can go read it for yourself. Fidelity basically just came out with this report called Understanding Bitcoin. I'm not going to dive into the report. This video will be way too long, but let's go over some key takeaways. Among an increasing number of investors and portfolio managers, Bitcoin is considered a legitimate and distinct asset class. Of course it is. It should have been for a long time. It's just that people are now starting to understand it. Bitcoin by design is a finite asset with both a unique supply and a unique demand dimension. And as far as network increases, Bitcoin's value and durability can increase even faster. Okay. Now, I want to add to that because this is an online asset. So, you know, for example, gold or, you know, other commodities, they're physical. So this can definitely increase a lot faster because, if, you know, 3 clicks, I can buy Bitcoin, guys. So just remember that. And it's a world currency, meaning anyone has access as quick as possible to these digital currencies. Okay. Seen as a form of digital gold, Bitcoin may act as a stable store of value, potentially offer protection against inflation or even hyperinflation. You guys know this. On my channel, I talk about this all the time, right? The reason why it's seen as a digital gold is because nobody can tamper with it. If you look in the history of mankind, back to the Roman Empire, essentially anyone that's tampered with the supply has ruined the civilization. Right now, clearly, the world reserve currency of the United States dollar is controlled and being ruined as we speak. And Bitcoin cannot be controlled on a fundamental level. Of course, the miners have control. Of course, the core developers have control. Of course, the people technically have control over Bitcoin, but the control meaning they can't just print more and take it for themselves. That's what I mean by control, the control of the monetary supply. In my view, some investors may wish to consider Bitcoin alongside alternatives as one component on the bond side of a 60-40 stock bond portfolio. So essentially he's saying other guys are going to start diversifying and jumping into Bitcoin. Positive news for Bitcoin. As we move on, this is big. MakerDAO supports EIP 1559. We've talked about it on this channel a couple of times. Essentially, this is going to lower the transaction cost and other things as well for Ethereum. Now, we know that's one of the biggest problems on Ethereum. They have the killer app, or you can say it's a killer app of decentralized finance. But the only thing holding them back is the fact that it costs $50 to $100 per transaction to jump into some of these protocols. MakerDAO is arguably, probably yes, the biggest decentralized app on Ethereum, and they are now supporting EIP 1559. Now, the reason why, there's a lot of confliction, and I have videos for that you guys can watch on the channel. But essentially, the reason why not everybody's supporting it immediately is because it's taking away the power for miners to choose transaction blocks through this lottery system. Long story short, it takes away a little bit of power from the miners, a little bit of revenue from, not a little bit, but a lot of revenue from the miners. But it also makes the user experience for the people way better. So I think it's a good thing, and I think more people are going to start supporting it, and hopefully it passes, and hopefully in the future we get some real type of adoption from Ethereum with these decreased transaction fees. Okay, next news article here. So we see Cover and Yearn Finance basically they will continue to operate independently. So they were partnered before. There's nothing, big. It's not that big of a deal. Essentially, I just want to let you guys know, just in case you have anything on there, they are essentially separating. They are not one another, or whatever the case is. That's medium-sized news, not really that big of a deal. Curve.finance has a vulnerability, attack. They basically had a critical bug affecting their Pool Factory version 1's users with funds are instructed to withdraw immediately. So essentially, they had a big bug. Hopefully, I don't think it was a hack. It was just a bug that they figured out. So guys, if you're in Curve.finance, be careful. Also, I thought it was hilarious, but I think it was Google. I put this on my TikTok. So go follow me on TikTok at Alexander the Marketer to get the specific details. But it was so funny, but I think it was Google that was going to acquire a company called Curve, and it happens to be a blockchain company. And off of that news, people started buying CRV, which is Curve Finance. So it just shows how dumb people are. They don't know what they're doing. But yeah, it got hacked. Be careful. Be careful with these markets, guys. Definitely try not to put your money into scam protocols. All right. And I'm not saying it's a scam. I'm just saying be very careful where you put your money. Kava Labs, they actually had some issues too. And they recently relaunched. Till now, more than 500 blocks have been produced. At the beginning of the validators faced a few issues connecting with peers. The team has said everything seems fine now, and the validators are free to sign off. Okay. So it looks like they're getting things back up to date, because they had a bug causing staking rewards to be distributed incorrectly. And essentially they're fixing it. So that shows resilience in this project. If you have any Kava, well, that's the update there, just in case you can't afford Mizari Enterprise because it's expensive. All right, let's move on to the next one. So as you can see here, Solana mainnet beta has reported some issues, some performance problems. While the network is still processing transactions, many of these transactions are failing. So they actually came out with a bug fix recently. So it might be a bullish sign. Who knows? It depends on what they get it done. I just want to show you guys the news. Moving forward, the CEO of Bitmex looks like he's going to turn himself in. So he might surrender to U.S. authorities. So I mean, I don't know the full story behind it, but I mean, if you're doing leverage trading, guys, just know there's people getting arrested that have created these companies. And here's a perfect example of that. Bitmex is one of the biggest leverage exchanges on earth, okay, when it comes to cryptocurrency. So just be very careful. There's a reason why they're getting prosecuted. All right, moving forward. Department of Justice filed charges against owners of crypto derivatives exchange Bitmex. So, I'm sorry. The reason why I clicked this is just show the original accusation. So this is the original accusation on October 1st, and he's turning himself in for a reason. Okay. Kings of Leon, I don't listen to their music. I'm assuming they're big, is dropping an album as an NFT. So we see, what was it, Gary V? We see Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the two. I don't even know the difference between these guys. They're coming out the woodworks trying to get into NFTs, okay? Non-fungible tokens. This is bullish, okay? This is like next level bullish. And I want to make you guys aware that there's going to be more adoption of blockchain in all different facets. When we talk about cryptocurrency and the decentralization of the internet, it's not limited to currency. I've told this to people so many times. It could be pretty much anything online. Anything online can be decentralized and used on a blockchain. And this is another version of that. People's music get pirated, stolen, they don't really get their, the credit, right? And a blockchain can be used for that. Blockchains are made for artificial trust and privacy. And it looks like a lot of artists, a lot of people that make music, a lot of people that make art, like physical art, are jumping onto NFTs for this reason. So they can make, I think they're doing it now for money because you could sell it for a high dollar. And it's on the blockchain. And it shows that you had like the original album, right? It shows literally, this is the original album. No one can tell you otherwise. And that's the beauty of, blockchain technology. things that before can be copied 1,000 times, like things that can be copied 1,000,000 times, can now actually show that someone had the original. And it could technically be copied physically, but now we have like proof that this is the original file, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, the page won't load moving forward, but Charles Schwab has talked about purchasing Bitcoin, putting it on their balance sheet. They're currently worth 3.3 trillion in client assets. So this is big credibility. You saw Fidelity. You're seeing these medium to large institutions starting to adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, guys. And being that they're doing it, it's still kind of small. They're still less than like 3%. So guys, big stuff happening. One quick thing, this was actually before they bought more, but basically MicroStrategy stock closes more than 50% down. So like I talked to you guys before, there's a lot of companies going private with the Bitcoin purchase, and it's for this reason. It's because not everybody understands Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy has just been like a mascot, essentially. They've been like promoting it, talking about it, buying it, spending all their money on it, and the stock is falling. There's a lot of, I believe there was like I don't remember, don't quote me on the name, but there was a actual institution that grades stocks, and they grade companies, and they dropped the grade to like C for MicroStrategy because of him, publicly promoting Bitcoin. Now for the company themselves, they're perfectly fine because most of their balance sheet is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's going to appreciate. But I just want to show you guys that this is a reason a lot of companies are not talking about it publicly. Even that you see 3 news articles, think about it this way. You see 3 news articles of some medium or large size institution jumping into Bitcoin. There's probably like 50 more other people that already jumped in privately. So just keep that in mind. Things are happening in the back. Okay. Moving forward, Ripple's Garlinghouse Larson files motion to dismiss SEC lawsuit. So if you guys don't know about the lawsuit, but the SEC is basically saying their security, right? XRP is a security. So guys, this is the exact news I was telling you about for a long time. There's gonna be more news coming out about XRP. You could say that this is a positive thing, but it's emotion, like it can get denied, right? So I've told you guys in the channel like months ago that even if you like XRP, right? Even if you really want to buy it, what's the purpose of buying it now? Why don't you buy it at the bottom? Like, why are you holding on to this asset and just going through all of this news and holding it when you could be buying another coin that's appreciating now and then using the profits to buy your XRP back? Be very careful, guys. Don't get emotional. The people that usually get this and hold the XRP to death are emotional. They're making an emotional decision. If anyone gets sued by the SEC, good luck, right? At least for the next 2 years, they're pretty much screwed. So good luck, okay? Moving forward, this is the actual motion that you guys can read it for yourself if you want to. It's the actual court listing motion. So let's move on. JP Morgan survey shows many institutional investors aren't likely to invest in crypto. So I thought this was interesting. Let's go over some of the statistics that they got. So basically they did a poll surveilling 3,400 investors from 1,500 institutions. Almost a tenth of the surveyed investors firms said they have invested in crypto. This is the people in the background that nobody knows of that, okay? Of the 89% who aren't, 22% said they're likely to do so in the future, and the remaining 78% said they weren't. That's interesting. That said, 58% of the participants believe crypto is here to stay, and 7% believe cryptocurrency will become one of the most important assets. When they asked their opinion, 21% said that crypto was a temporary fad, and 14% said that it was probably rat poison squared, which is like a quote from Warren Buffett of him publicly shaming Bitcoin and what's going on over here. Now, as you can see there's clearly a large amount of investors that still really don't understand it. This is in continued growth. I mean, it could be bearish short term, but in the long term, these guys will come around to it. Again, we say on this channel, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. It's obvious. If you just face the truth, if people just face the truth, they would understand that this asset class is here to stay and it's going to continue to grow. Okay, guys. Moving forward, we have a DeFi project, Meerkat, being drained of $31 million on Binance Smart Chain. Now, I know a lot of people are hitting me up because I've been talking about Binance Smart Chain a lot. And they're like, oh, Binance Smart Chain's a scam. We all know it's a scam. Guys, the same thing were happening on ERC20 tokens. The difference here is now we have an opportunity to see what Binance Smart Chain is going to do about it, right? We all know they're centralized, right? You should know that. They're proof of authority. So proof of authority means that they can pick their node operators. It's kind of similar to EOS. So who knows? They might revert the blockchain to get the money back to save their credibility, right? There's always some type of sacrifice, right? So there's like it's called the trilemma, right? You guys can go look it up for yourself. But the sacrifice that they take, when it comes to Binance Chain is centralization. So this gives them the unique ability to be able to do things like what? Control it, right? And controlling this attack might be something they do. Who knows? I'll update you guys if more information comes out. But for now, just understand it's not bearish. The same thing happened all the time. It happens all the time on Ethereum. So just understand that, okay? Moving forward, GBTC is trading at a nearly 12% discount, its highest fall in history. So if you guys don't know what GBTC is, it's Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So essentially, it's their kind of product they provide for institutional investors to get exposure to Bitcoin. It's falling rapidly. It looks like some guys are taking profit. That's obviously a good thing for us because we can scoop that up. We know Bitcoin's going to at least $100,000 to $150,000, easily double our money. That might short term, it might be bearish. But if you understand what Bitcoin is and long-term vision, long-term, we are going to make a killing. So things like this are actually bullish for me. I love saying things like that because it shows how little they know. And then we're going to talk about the last piece of news today. This is the last one I want to talk about, and then I'll move on, guys. Visa is winning the battle for cryptocurrency cards. Let's just read the quick take. The world's largest payment companies are investing and building for a digital asset future. The latest cryptocurrency numbers from PayPal, Square, and even Robinhood suggest user acquisition, engagement, and monetization levers via crypto offerings can even be greater than originally expected. Visa established global crypto card network, partners with USDC and Anchorage, and robust API tooling have positioned the company to expand crypto as a service capabilities. Broader financial institutions and banks interested in supporting crypto purchase capabilities. Numbers go up. That's what you guys should know. I'm just joking. Adjusted on chain volume of stablecoins. Guys, we're going to get a lot of institutions. I literally said this years ago, guys, years ago. PayPal accepts crypto. They make too much money. Actually, it was the first one was Cash App. Cash App accepts crypto. They make too much money. Who's their competitor? PayPal. PayPal's like, wow, I'm getting left behind. I have to accept crypto. They accept crypto. People start getting left behind. Recently, Apple accepts crypto. This is like a chain reaction because you're making too much money. Too many people want it. There's too much demand. And it's the same thing for Visa and all these cards. So pay attention. The growth is still here. Things are still happening. But that's it for this video, guys. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.